Hello, everybody. This is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and no, it's not the next day. I just took a shower. So I'm obviously going to be having clean clothes on. Anyway, I don't really know what to call this video. I just decided to do it on a whim. And, it's kind of a slightly serious topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments, especially for those of you who know you suffer from autism, bipolar, stuff like that. Just to make sure that, I get some facts right or whatever, or what your individual experience is on this, because obviously I don't have any of that. Only thing I actually have is ADD. And that was back in school, and I took medication for it up until college, in which case I stopped it. I probably still suffer from it. Don't even really, actually, that kind of makes sense considering I sometimes start on one topic and then I end up getting distracted and starting on another. You know? Anyway, I apologize for how that looks. All that stuff on there. That's just a bunch of stuff. I need to actually go through it tonight. But some of that is, my clean bed sheets, for example. They got washed because they need to be washed. And I have clean bed sheets on my bed. Sort of, it's actually been a week since I cleaned them, so they need to be washed, but I'll have to move them, and I'm actually still trying to find my dang Xanathar's Guide to Everything book. I still can't find it. Anyway, yeah, see, I get distracted. I need to go back on that medication. Anyway, like I said, I don't really know what to call this video because I just really wanted to talk about this because, for those of you who know the whole Deon situation, back then, he put up a video saying that everybody is racist, so don't act like a nun, and I'm like, how is racist being like a nun? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get his logic at all. At all, because if you're not racist, that means you're a nun? What? A nun has nothing to do with being racist. If you're not racist, then you're just a decent person who sees everybody as equal. That has nothing to do with a nun or religion. At all. Can somebody try and explain his logic to me? Because every time I try and figure out it, I get a headache. Anyway, I do know there are people out there with mental health issues. I do know that. There's autism, there's bipolar, there's narcissism, there's borderline personality disorder. I don't really know. Is that what MPP, multiple personality disorder, or MPD, what used to be called it, multiple personality disorder? Is that the same thing or is that somewhat different? Like I said, I don't know anything. But I figured I would give my opinion on it, and you guys can let me know if I'm right or not. Okay? Okay. So feel free to leave a comment, let me know what you think. Or if you got your own, let's say you are autistic, for example, you can let me know if what I'm saying has any merit or if I am dead wrong. Okay. Anyway, the reason I brought up Deon is because, like I said, he was saying a bunch of stuff in his videos, and I'm like, that makes no sense. One thing he was talking about was how people make mistakes, and yes, people do make mistakes, but the way he was saying it was he was implying that you can make a mistake all the time and it's still a mistake. Like, for example, when he would have his meltdowns and he would yell at people and say all sorts of awful things. Yes, it's a mistake if you do it one time and you realize it's a mistake and that it's wrong and you stop doing it. It's not a mistake anymore when you keep doing it. When you keep doing the same thing over and over, knowing that what you're doing is wrong or bad, and you still do it. And still think of it as a mistake. It's wrong. It's not a mistake anymore. What you're doing is intentionally doing it. For example, when he would bring up how it's possibly illegal for him to film in certain places, and it probably is. Some places have rules against no cameras or filming in, the movie theaters, for example. But he still does it anyway because you see in his vlogs he goes out and records while he's walking. Same thing applies to here. If he's actually, breaking the law when he records in certain spots, it's a mistake. If he corrects it and doesn't do it anymore, then he learns from it. Which, for those of us who know Deon, he doesn't really learn very well from his mistakes. Because for those of you who don't know, we had encounters with him when we used to support him. After a while, we had enough of the meltdowns and getting yelled at. We had enough of it. No one likes to be a verbal punching bag. So we left, and we didn't want anybody else having to go through that and feel that way. So we tried to get him to, get off YouTube and get a regular job and try and get some help for his mental issues. Because we know he's got mental issues. Oh, and also, he claims he's Chinese, but I don't see it. Two, even if it's like way back when, the only way he's gonna the only proof he has is that he's trying to speak Chinese. I mean, if he did a DNA test and he proved all that, then that's fine. But he's just claiming that he is. As far as we know, he could be dead wrong. Anyway, like I said, I can get off topic, so if I do, I apologize. But here's a question for people who out there who watch my channel that are autistic. Do you guys have instances where you just get so angry that you say all sorts of awful things that you would never say or otherwise? Like what Deon does, for example. If you do, tell me your experiences of that and why it happens, or why you think it happens. If you don't, and you know somebody who does do that, could you tell me what causes that, please? Because, sorry, I almost lost my train of thought. As far as we know, Deon's got autism, bipolar, or anger issues. I'm not sure which. It's kind of I'm thinking bipolar and possible anger issues because he can switch from being fine to just suddenly yelling at people. Like, he could be fine just sitting there talking to him, and then boom, he starts yelling at you. So it could possibly be a mixture of both, maybe? I'm not sure. I think he's got depression. Some people say he's faking it, but why would you fake depression? That's something you really don't want to fake because that just sounds for lack of a better word, it sounds depressing. Sorry. I'm not making fun of people with depression. I'm just saying that it doesn't sound like a fun time is all I'm saying. To fake having depression. So why on earth would he fake that even for some attention? That's the only reason I could think of. But let's see what else. He says he's got PTSD from past trauma, which I don't know. We didn't know him back then, so he possibly could have gone through that stuff. I don't know. Just all we got is his word. So I'm gonna assume that yes, he has had past trauma. So that's just for this point, or this video, I should say. Let's see. What else did he have? I don't know. I don't remember what else he has off the top of my head. It's been that long since I even thought about it. Oh, he's got ADHD. And, but yeah, I know that his logic is flawed as all get out. And I don't know if that's due to him being autistic or just him in general. I don't know. Like I said, if somebody can give me some insight on the mental health stuff, that'd be amazing. But, shoot, what was I? I was watching the video and I was making comments as I was watching, like I was doing a reaction. And, yeah, some of the stuff he said was kind of flawed. But, like, the comparison to racism and being a nun, no. That has nothing to do with the other. Only thing it could possibly have in common is that nuns are generally good people, and they see everybody as equal, so they kind of are not racist, but still, it's not really a good analogy to go by. And, yeah, he was still talking about us paying for what we had done to him, which all we wanted was for him to get off YouTube. That's all we wanted because he needs help. That's all I will say is he needs help, and we wanted him to get the help. Go to online support groups. Find a different therapist. Find somebody who is qualified to talk to him about this stuff. Because nobody on the internet that I've seen so far is qualified to talk to him about this stuff. There are trolls out there would make it worse. Or rather, talking to strangers on the internet could make it worse. Which I think is what happened. But he doesn't want to believe that. He wants to believe that what he's doing is helping him. And in some small quantities it could, but only if you don't encounter any trolls or haters. That's the only way that could possibly work. And even then, like I said, we are not qualified. We could probably say something that can make it worse. That's why he needs to talk to a therapist, someone who is qualified to even do this sort of thing. And he claims that talking to a therapist is not good for him. And I mean, like, therapists do things differently than other therapists. Not every therapist does things a certain way. He could have just gone to a bad therapist for all we know. Anyway, I'm making this more about Deon than I should, but I guess this is gonna be a Deon video. I don't know. I just wanted to get this off my chest, essentially. That essentially, yes, the whole suicide hotline worker thing was in bad taste. It wasn't a good thing. I did not tell anybody to do that. And to be completely honest, I haven't really talked to Lindsay or... Shoot, who else was it? Some of the other people who were on that Discord, I don't really talk to anymore just because we've drifted apart. We don't really talk. But... yeah, most of us have moved on at this point, but he's saying that he wants us to move on someday, and I'm like, we're already moving on. The only one who hasn't moved on yet is you. I only occasionally check on his channel just in case to see if anything has popped up. That's the only time I ever check on it. If there's nothing there, I just go away. But, yeah, I did not condone that. I should have given her a talking to about that was not a good idea. Heck, if she was going to do something like that, she should have run it by me first, and then I would have told her, no, that's bad taste, don't do that. But, no, they didn't. Anyway, most of the people who were in that group are still supporters of mine, so I'm not going to turn them away if they actually enjoy my content. But... yeah, dang it, what did he end up saying? Because he ended up saying, I know that he's on a certain end of the spectrum for autism, but I think it's close to the high end, because isn't the low end where most of the ones are that, like, can't really communicate that well, they end up having more temper tantrums and stuff like that? Oh, that, brings me to another... Really? Please tell me my mom has the other phone. Oh, good, thank you. Good, I don't have to edit the video. Sorry. I tend to get a lot of spit in my mouth when I drool, and I just forget to swallow it. Anyway, this brings me to another topic I could talk about. Just because you have autism doesn't give you a pass, if for lack of a better word. And what I mean by this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, means that if you have autism, that doesn't give you a free pass to act bad. Because you can't just blame your autism for this one. You can't just like, let's say you do something bad and you have to face the consequences of your actions, and you say, oh, it's because of my autism that I'm like this. You can't just pull that card whenever, essentially. Because there are people out there who do abuse that, and even claim that they're autistic, for example, but they're not. And sadly, I know there's a lot of people in the world who do that sort of thing, and not necessarily with autism, but with other stuff. Or they claim that sort of thing to get benefits, for example, or free passes, like, shoot, there was some examples. by claiming that they are veterans to get like free benefits for Veterans Day, stuff like that. That sort of people, I can't stand those sort of people. They can go jump off a cliff because yeah, you guys are just looking for free excuses to get away with stuff that you shouldn't be able to get away with. And it makes me sick that people do that sort of thing. Because there are people out there with those actual disabilities, those conditions, stuff like that do have to deal with that on a regular basis, and you don't see them pulling that sort of crap. Oh, for those of you who know the whole Deon situation, do you think Deon is possibly narcissistic? Because somebody actually did mention that to me. I don't remember if it was Ryan or somebody else, but somebody mentioned that he could possibly be a narcissist. I don't know if I see it. If you guys have been around on the channel for this long and you know the whole situation, have you seen it? Because I don't see it. I mean, the guy definitely has issues, I know that much, and his logic is definitely flawed, but I don't know if I see him as a narcissist. I don't think so. I know what a narcissist is. I've seen plenty of Reddit stories about people with narcissistic parents. I've seen those kinds of signs, but I don't think he is one. I mean, I know I'm probably rambling at this point, but I don't really know. I know I want to talk about this sort of thing in this video. I just don't know what else to talk about. I told you I decided to make this video on a whim. I don't know what else to talk about. Let's see. But yeah, a question for those of you with bipolar. If you don't treat it with medicine, because I know he doesn't take medication for it, can you just flip a switch and end up going from being, normal to being all pissed off or upset or whatever? Can your mood change like that quickly, like with Deon's meltdowns? Because I don't think his meltdowns are caused by autism. I don't think. Unless I'm proven wrong in the comments, in which case. Anyway, I know this is more about Deon than anything, but I just needed to ask these questions of people in the community who are actually autistic, who are actually bipolar, who actually have all those conditions that Deon says he's dealing with, and see if he actually has any sort of validity to those claims, just on the way he acts. But, a question. For those of you who were on that Discord server with me, I want y'all to be honest with me. Who is the one who ended up making death threats to him just because of his fetish? Because I don't condone that. Sorry. And no, I don't have COVID. I think I just got allergies that make my throat scratchy. I have actually never really taken medication for that, but I know it's not COVID because I don't have a fever. And I've gotten tested before, and I was negative, so I probably just need to lose some weight. Maybe that would help a little bit. Maybe. But anyway, but yeah, whoever did that, I don't condone that. That was not a good thing to do. It's just giving him more ammunition against us for the actions of one person, aka like the suicide hotline worker prank thing, which I still think it was a horrible thing to do. I should have said something at the time, but me being young and stupid, I did not. Anyway, but like I said, he is not ever going to let this go. Even if we were to move on and be in... Oh, God. Please don't let him be like this in his freaking 30s. This is just going to be sad. That's going to be sad, to be completely honest. A man in his 30s acting like that. And I'm not saying anything bad about people with mental health, just him in general acting like he does. Having meltdowns like that, just over some stupid people who just want to mess with him. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, I'd like some perspective on what you guys think. For those of you who have those kinds of conditions, please give me some insight. That'd be great. Anyway, I just needed to talk about this. If I remember anything, I'll put it in a pinned comment, I guess, in the video. So, yeah, I will try and get this uploaded today, and I will see everybody next time.